Welcome back to SOLUS Financial. Well, today we'll talk about why it's important to not only just have one source of income, but multiple sources of income to live a more free and independent life. So the benefits of having just multiple sources of income is not just the fact that you have more money coming in from different places, right? It's the fact that if the economy shifts and let's say the stock market crashes, right? But you have a drop shipping store that's bringing in $1 million, for instance, you're not really going to be just reliant on your investments and your stocks and your trading and all that, because you have these other sources of income, or you have the real estate, or you have a business, or an AI business, insurance business, whatever the case may be, right? You have all these multiple sources of income just in case your hours get cut or the economy shifts or just anything like that. You also gain control of you have more control of your life having multiple sources of income, because you're not reliant on just that one source of income. Like I said, guys, if one crashes, you have these others that can help keep your life going and moving forward while you fix the problem that's going on, right? So it just gives you more protection and stability, right? And that's the biggest thing in life, is having protection and stability, because we don't know what's going to happen. We could get struck by a meteor tomorrow and the economy just goes to shit. We really don't know. So I'm going to talk about a little bit how I would break it up a little bit. So, for my first stream of income, I would probably, handle my bills, whatever the bills may be, water, electric, business bills, taxes, whatever the case may be. And the second stream is kind of like your breathing room, right? So you can kind of reinvest that money. You can build more businesses with that money. You can do a lot with that money. You can go on vacations with that money. You can just do a lot. Third stream is when you really start to gain options, right? So you have the first stream paying for your bills and your life to be able to live, right? Now you got that second stream to create more opportunities for you, right? Now you have a third stream. So now you have a little bit more breathing room that allows you to, travel the world and just not be so, what's the word I want to use? Trapped, in a sense. Because when you have one source of income, you're trapped. You have to stay there and you have to keep figuring it out how to keep going until you can get to that second stream of income to use to build a third stream of income, right? So all these sources of income just stack on and add to each other. And then once you get to a fourth source of income, that's really when you open up your freedom and can move around, and you really don't need to really keep up with anybody. As long as they can't keep up with you, then you shouldn't be with them anyways. You shouldn't be the smartest man in the room, but you should be in a room to where you're always learning. So be the dumbest man in the room. Another thing is, wealthy people, they build the systems and to help, so they don't have to do everything by themselves, right? So they hire people to take care of their boats, their jets, or whatever the case may be. They hire people to run their businesses for them, right? So CEOs, managers, things like that, assistants, different type of things like that. And you don't, if you want to start this journey, right, some SOLUS advice would be not to try and build everything at once, right? Focus on one stream of income. Once you get that stream of income, use it to build your second, right? And then when you get the second source of income going, use these two sources to build your third, right? And it's just a domino effect, right? And it just keeps going, keep improving your life, and keep working towards that financial freedom that here at SOLUS Financial we will teach you how to do, right? The goal is to stop trading all your time for money, right? So if you think about it, many people who graduate college, right, they're going to graduate, they're going to go in the system, work a 9 to 5, trading their time for money, right? So that kind of brings the question, well, if money is just energy, right? because people trade their energy for the money, and then you get money for trading your energy, right? And then we use the money to expend more energy, right? We use money to go have fun. We use money to go do this, do that. So, in a way, money is more of a energy type of thing, right? Because, it moves the world, and that's just life. We can't do nothing about it. Multiple sources give you, more control. And so, to wrap things up, the SOLUS finance mindset, right, is what I'm trying to build and trying to teach you guys and teach myself as well, is self-dependence, financial freedom, just having the freedom to move whenever you want. If something happens in, say, the United States, well, I have 4 streams of income. Why do I have to stay here? Why do I move to France, where I have another bank account set up, and I have my money in that bank account, and I already have investments over there too. So now I'm just living the same life I was living over here, just in a different country, right? So real freedom comes when you start having multiple sources of income. So if you would like more on this subject, let me know down in the comments, and I will be glad to help you guys out. So as always, have a blessed day and keep it pushing.